Pawn behaves like a pawn because it believes it's a pawn. A king rules because he commands power.
This is where change begins.
It's extraordinary that I'm still here. I'm still standing.
Yeah.
Nothing can prepare you for what is out there. Are you truly sure that you're ready to go on this voyage? I'm ready.
And now I say we get to work.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Let's get to work. This is your man Mario inside of the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk right here on Beat Break 87 FM, Atlanta's independent news station where music and talk radio lives. As I said, I am your man, you inside of the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk. And we're going to get into some thought-provoking talk today. We're going to get into one of my pet peeves. And, you know, we're going to talk about that. But before we get into that, let's talk about, don't forget, guys, you can always catch past episodes of the Random Select Podcast if you just go to therandomselect.com. If you go to therandomselect.com, we got... like I said, the past episodes and stuff up there. I'm trying to get them up there as quickly as I possibly can, y'all. So y'all just bear with me on that particular front. You know, and y'all just gotta understand it's a one-man operation. It's just little old me, and I'm trying my best to get it up there. So don't forget, guys, go to therandomselect.com. And don't forget, you can also go to beatbreakradiofm.com, where you can find all the, you know, good things going on in the community and stuff like that with the station. And you can also click that listen now button to bring you right into where you need to be. And people, where you need to be is inside of the Random Select Podcast, which airs from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. So, yeah, we out there in them digital streets as well, people. If you say you can't find the Random Select out there in them digital streets, then that's on you. You know what I mean? We are definitely out there. You just got to look really, really hard. I mean, you really ain't got to look hard to find us out there in those digital streets. We there. You just got to make sure you put your due diligence in and you find us out there. You know what I mean? So, Facebook, Instagram, all those places, we out there. So don't ever say that we ain't out there in them streets. You know what I mean? And my people, my kings and my queens, don't forget to check out the Jeff is Moody Show. The Jeff is Moody Show comes on from 3 to 6 now. They moved the time. So with that being said, people, they are coming on from 3 to 6. That's my man. You know what I mean? Check the Jeff is Moody Show out and listen for the bell. You know what I mean? When something good happens, you guarantee it's gonna draw the bell. You know what I mean? So check out the Jeff is Moody Show, and yeah, it's like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's where we at. So today, let me tell y'all what I want to talk about right now, right here on the Random Select Podcast, right? One of my pet peeves for real, y'all, is, and I probably talked about this on past podcasts, I'm not sure, but even if I did, I'm bringing it back. I'm regurgitating it, I'm putting it out there, and I'm just telling y'all what it is, how it is, and what it does, and what it bees. You know what I mean? So, I forgot to start my timer, y'all. I don't want the segment to run too long, but yeah, let me just tell you what my pet peeve is. My pet peeve is you have a woman who's your friend, right? And you've been down with her for a long time. And maybe once upon a time, y'all were trying to be something. Y'all were trying to get into it. Maybe y'all were trying to bump. Or maybe you even did smash that thing once upon a time, but for whatever reason, it didn't work. And now at this particular point, you just a friend. You say he's just a friend. Hey, look, I'm just a friend. And whenever a new man come into your life, you automatically tell him about me. You know what I mean? Because we friends like that. For real. I mean, strictly platonic at this particular point. We friends, right? So, but once a woman puts you in that friend zone, that friend category, it's almost like once you go over there to the friend zone, she puts you in that category as if, you know, the dude boy. I could try any old fuck shit with him. I could try any old thing with him, and he'll go for it because he my friend. He been around me for a long time, and that's just my homeboy. That's like my little brother, my big brother. Well, not so fast, my friend. You gotta understand. I'm not your man, and I'm not your fan. I'm just your friend. So don't be coming to me asking me to do things that you should be asking your boyfriend to do. That's a real pet peeve of mine. And all this is brought on because in the last month or so, I've had past female friends of mine, you know, coming to me asking me to borrow money when they got a dude laying up next to them. And, woo, I got a saying. And I used to hear my mama say this, and that's maybe where it came from, cause you know, you tend to mimic or mock what you grow up around, and you know, and my mama used to have a saying, and it kind of, you know, it resonates with me. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense to me. You know what I mean? It's almost like y'all women get to the point where y'all just throw us in the dude boy category, you know, like Mikey, and a lot of y'all younger generations ain't gonna get this. Let Mikey try it. Mikey will eat it, you know, like the Chex Mix commercial. Give it to Mikey, he'll try anything. And that's just like what y'all do to us. Give it to the friend, or ask the friend to do it, or ask the friend, can you borrow it, because he'll do anything. Because this is what y'all always think. Y'all always think once we went there, you know, once we slept with y'all, or once it tried to be something and then it's not anymore, y'all always think we want to come back. Y'all always think that, oh girl, he want this anyway, so he'll do it. You know, that's the type of fuck shit y'all throw out to us, right? And then, you know, y'all ask us to do shit like hey, can you just trim the grass? Can you come through and fix a light bulb? Can you install this? Can you hook up this and do that? All the while you got somebody who coming through a couple hours after I come through and blow your back out, but you don't ask him or require any of this stuff from him. And it just makes me wonder, why is that, ladies? In the comment section, whenever you guys hear this, or if you see it on Facebook, Instagram, please put in there. Please just let me know. Why is it that you guys always feel that the guy who's the friend can be asked to do any God-given thing at your house, around your house, you know, look for my car, you know, do something to my car, you know, the car ain't running right, it's making a funny sound, but what is it? I don't know. It sounds like a question for your man. You know, my air conditioner hasn't come on, it's blowing nothing but hot air. What do you think it is? I don't know. Maybe that's a question for your man. You know, oh wow, I got something rattling around, sound like an animal or something up in my attic. What do you think it could be? I don't know. Sounds like a question for, let me guess, your man. You know what I mean? It's the guy who busting you out, who spazzing, blowing your back out, blowing bubbles all in your coochie. You know what I mean? Is the person you should be asking this stuff of, but you ladies, you never ever do. Why is that? Why is that? If you got a man, because these women are calling me and asking me to borrow money, and one asked me to borrow $20. Baby girl, if you can't get your man to come up off of $20, then baby girl, you might need to start looking elsewhere. You know what I mean? If your man can't help you come up with $20, I don't care if he have to borrow from somebody else just to, you know, give it to you. But $20 is not anything. And then these are the guys that y'all be swearing y'all in love with. These are the guys that you be swearing he's right. Girl, he be laying it down in the bedroom. But y'all gotta have a situation. Gotta have relationships. Gotta have other things going on other than the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Because let's face it, you know what I mean? At some point, even though I feel that I slang good wood too, at some point you're going to have to bring something else to the party more than good wood, baby. Because at this point in my life, I'm telling you, a woman got to bring something more to the party than just some wet, some good wet. Some of that five dime snatch. It's got to be more, baby. Because at some point, we all know that sex levels off, no matter who you with, no matter how pretty she is, no matter how fine she is, how thick, no matter what the situation is, at some point, sex levels off. What are you going to have after that? What's going to be the thing that's going to keep y'all going besides sex? So these women, I mean, y'all got to understand, ladies, I'm going to say it again. Let me see if I can get me something up here. I'm going to say it again. I am not your man. I ain't your fan. I am your friend. Straight up. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can say that, because y'all got to understand that in the process of you feeling a certain way, I got a woman, or I got interest that I'm trying to pursue too. And I feel like if I'm in a situation, if a woman is in my life and I'm constantly calling you for stuff, she'll be like, damn, you know, why you always asking her for stuff? Am I not right here? And I'm saying, is it a case that y'all just don't tell these men that you asking your quote unquote friend for favors and things, and when they ask, I mean, or do they just come through and hit, and they don't give a damn who came through and trimmed your grass? They don't give a damn who came through and helped your kids with their homework, or took them to football practice, provided rides and stuff for. Where are these dudes that's hidden? Where are the good dick dudes that's supposed to be? All these guys that's slinging all this wood, but they don't sling enough wood to make you want to ask them for nothing. The dick is so good that you figure that you don't need to ask them for a damn thing. But that old failed relationship that morphed into a friendship over there, I can ask his ass anything. Well, guess what, Mario? Shit, I done broke down on the moon. Shit, can you jump in the shuttle and just come get me? That's the type of shit that they be bringing to you. You know what I mean? And I'm looking like, and I had to literally come out and tell one girl, I said, where your man at? And then she went to proceed to me to tell me why I should do it. I said, where your man at? This ain't got nothing to do with him. I'm asking you as a friend for a favor. I say, the same way you got this passion to tell me that you asking me as a friend for a favor, it's the same way you should look him in his eyes and say, I'm asking you as the man who hidden this to, can I get $20? And if he can't give you $20, or if you feel that you can't even go to him for $20, baby girl, you might need to start looking saint elsewhere. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, younger people, ain't gonna get that. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, you know, you've slapped me in that dude boy category. You know, you've almost slapped me in the fuck boy category, saying I could just tell him anything, no matter what I bring to him. Oh, Mario, can I borrow some money? Why? Well, see, some aliens came down, they busted into the back of my house with their spaceship, and now I gotta get it repainted back there, you know. And as he was leaving, he said, sorry, nanu, you know, telling me any type of fuck shit, you know what I mean? But I'm just trying to make y'all understand, women, y'all gotta stop this. And I know there's a lot of men out there who y'all got on y'all team that's literally waiting to bust, literally wishing for that chance to smash, and they doing any damn thing for y'all because they just thinking and they hoping and they praying and they wishing that this be the night that they smash, this be the night that they hit. But for a guy like me, I ain't the one. Like Ice Cube said, baby, I ain't the one. You ain't gonna keep calling me up, asking me to do things for you that the guy who laying right next to you is not willing to do or won't, or you just won't ask. I just don't understand how, if your grass need cutting and you got a guy who coming through every Friday and Saturday night smashing, you will not ask him to, before he tip up out that bitch like the tiptoe burglar, to go down and just trim up your grass. I don't understand it. You giving him trim while he can't go down and trim for you. But that's what I'm saying. Women, people who are good friends to you, people who've never asked you for nothing or really is not requiring anything for you, don't use them up. And I know men do it too, but it just seems like women have made a real good habit out of it. Women have become adept at dangling the goodies or spending time in front of a dude's face just so she can get him to do things. But yet and still, y'all will say there are no good men out here when all y'all do to the good men is have them being handyman. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got the good men out there playing Tool the Tim Man Taylor. You know what I mean? Tim the Tool Man Taylor. Y'all got them out there as y'all handyman. Shit, y'all might as well, instead of going to dating sites, y'all might as well start going to find y'all men's off Angie's list. You know what I mean? Because y'all don't really want men. Y'all want men who can. Y'all want the man who's the good man, who's the safe, kind of boring man, to be the guy who's be that security blanket, can bail you out of all type of shit and to do all the shit around y'all house. But that guy that you consider mysterious, that bad boy who don't treat you right, make you cry and shit, y'all want him around to lay pipe and hit it hard from the back, pull your hair and ask you whose it is. But yet and still you don't require nothing from him. And I'm just telling y'all, that's just a pet peeve of mine, straight up. You know what I mean? It's a pet peeve, and it seems to be getting worse because like I said, I had women call me. 3 different women called me this month asking me to borrow money. You know what I mean? One of the women got a fiance who she been posting all up on social media that she finna marry. That's the love of her life. He provides me everything. Ever since I've been with him, I ain't have to want for nothing. That's what was put up on Facebook. That is what was said. You know what I mean? I don't have to want for nothing. But yet and still, you call back. You call me and ask to borrow some money. I'm sorry. Am I not one of the people that you are friends with? That scene that you put up, that this is the love of your life, and ever since you've been with him, you haven't had to want for anything. But now you want for money. And you calling me super do boy extraordinaire, or so you thought, to borrow the money. Now when you borrow the money to go do whatever you gonna do, he's gonna come through later on tonight with no worries man, no cares man, me never worry free life, me come through, me blow your back out now. Him gonna come through, he gonna blow your back out while you borrowing money from me, and then you tell me you gonna pay me back. He hidden. You can't get the money from him, but you gotta go work an extra shift or put in some overtime just to pay me back when you should have got it from the guy who hidden right there. But that's what y'all women do. You know what I mean? That's what y'all do. Once y'all put us in the friend zone, y'all also put us in the ignorant zone. Y'all put us in the fuck boy zone. Y'all put us in the do boy zone. So going into the friend zone, not just going into the friend zone. Going into the friend zone is come with like a bundle, like you trying to sign up for AT&T or Comcast or something. You know what I'm saying? Where it comes bundled with your phone, your internet, and your TV service. Going into the friend zone comes bundled with friend zone, ignorant zone, do boy zone, fuck boy zone. Come with a bundle package. And Lord forbid if you ever try to break the contract and get out of it, and then they want to make it seem like you being a bad person, you being a bad friend, you being a terrible fuck boy, you being a terrible do boy, you being terrible at being ignorant. Why don't you just stay over there saying la la land, let me do you however I see fit, and you just go along with it. And all the time, the guy over here, let him reap all the benefits. Let him bust in your face. Let him skeet in your neck. Let him do all that stuff. Let him pull your hair. Let him ask you who's daddy. You know what I mean? Let him do all of that stuff. While I sit over here wonder if you gonna pay me back or not. And you keep on telling me, oh, I'll pay you back. You know, you ain't pay me back in 6 months. And like Drake always say, never let somebody lend what you're going to need right back. Because I always assume if I let you borrow, I ain't getting it back. But here's the thing, all my female friends, I have stopped letting you borrow money, because when you have a man and you have somebody that's on your team, somebody that's supposed to be on your corner, here's a crazy, wild notion. Go ask his ass. That's all I'm saying. I mean, what's the harm in that? After all, that is your man that ever since you've been with, he has made it where you don't want for anything except for you want my money. You know what I mean? That's I don't know. It's a weird dynamic, guys. And that is definitely one of my pet peeves. So I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm just have to say one thing, like you see right there. Ladies, I am your friend. I am not your man, and I am definitely not your fan. So keep that in mind when y'all out there in them streets and y'all trying to get all the boys to do all the crazy stuff for you because you feel that you're dangling your carrot in front of his face. And you got some guys that feel like the carrot is worth it. But I'm to that point of my life where I tell you what, baby girl, the carrot is definitely not worth it to me. You know what I mean? It is not, because I've been around and I understand that women come in various different packages. You know what I mean? And to me, if you just strictly keep judging women by the package that they come in, you're going to set yourself up for failure and heartbreak each and every time. You got to look inside those packages and see deep within what makes those packages move. Because in my personal experience, I've seen a lot of people women that you consider dime pieces. I've seen a lot of women that people say, oh, that's a bad body girl. I ain't talking about the good bad body. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about, and I've seen a lot of big girls who were beautiful, who rocked they styles and how they carried themselves with confidence. And they were just so attractive and so sexy to me because they carried themselves better. Their attitudes and disposition were better toward things. And a lot of y'all say, well, they have to because they big girls. And I ain't talking about those type of big girls who self-esteem low. I'm talking about big girls who understood that they were big, but at the same time, that still don't mean I'm going to be with any old messed up thing that come my way. But because they were beautiful and they understood certain things. Because to me, I love a smart woman. Knowledge is beautiful and sexy to me. I like a woman that I could talk to about anything. I like a woman that when I say my corny ass jokes or say certain things, it don't fly past her head and she totally understands it and she totally gets it. You know what I mean? And I've had a lot of what y'all consider to be dime type women that were just very shallow. That were just very physical, and what you see is what you get, period, point blank. And I was not interested. I've had so many friends ask me, why didn't you keep on messing with so and so? Man, she was bad. Man, she was fine. Yeah, but I wasn't feeling her. That you crazy, man. If that was me, yeah, but me and you not the same. See, you caught up all on that physical stuff. You caught up on how she looked. But to me and her didn't vibe. Me and her didn't have a damn thing in common. You know what I mean? I'm into R&B music. You know what I mean? And this person wasn't. You know what I mean? She wanted to, get busy to rap music. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right, I'll try it for a while. But, come to find out that's all she want to, do it to. And I ain't knocking that. That's her thing. She'll find a guy that really don't rock with her like that. But when I'm having my moments and when I'm having my sessions, I like it for it to be smooth, mellow. I like it for the mood to be set right. You know what I mean? I like for you feeling in that moment where you trying to lower your guard, you trying to get comfortable with me, and you trying to reach a certain level, reach a certain ecstasy with me. And it's hard to do that listening to some Jeezy. Not knocking Jeezy, I'm just saying that Jeezy has his place, but for me, Jeezy is just not, in this particular moment, I'm not feeling Jeezy when it's time to knock boots, get busy, smash, or however you guys want to say that. You know what I mean? And the kicker to it, when I said, hey, look, let's put on some Jodeci. And she said, who is that? And at that particular point, pushed all my chips to the table and said, and I'm out. Because if I'm dealing with a person and she don't know who Jodeci is, now she's in her 30s, you know what I mean? And I was like, well, It's been nice knowing you, kid, and this is where we say goodbye. This is where we part ways. This is where we just do the long stare and awkward pause, and we just slowly walk backwards. And I'd say, I'll call you, but you know I will not call. And you'll say, I'll be looking forward to that call. And you know you will not be looking forward to that call. That's where we were. You know what I mean? So I just find that you as a person, you like what you like. And that's never going to change. You like what you like. I'm not going to knock that. But I'm trying to tell y'all got to start looking deeper. Y'all got to start looking past certain things. You got to start getting to the point where you find stuff that complete you in a way that complements the physical side of it, because physical gonna wear out people. No matter how pretty and fine a person is, male, female, or indifferent. I don't care if you're bisexual, intersexual, polysexual, trisexual, dog sexual, animal sexual. At some point it's gonna live off being with the person that you want to be with. What else you gonna have once that does that, once that love off? And that's that point I'm at in my life. What else we got besides, messing up the bed sheets? What else we got besides that? When we done, can we talk? Can we sit down and watch somebody do stand-up comedy and you get the joke without me having to explain the joke to you? The worst thing in the world is to be with somebody and you have to keep explaining to somebody what another person is saying, because their intelligence level is just lower than yours and they just don't get it. It takes the fun out of it. When you say something to them, they just don't get it. It takes the fun out of it. You like people that's on your level, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking nobody that I feel that's not on my level. You just got to, they themselves got to find somebody that's on their level. But it's a beautiful thing when you find somebody on your level and y'all communicating to the point where it's just beautiful. I mean, it's a really, really great thing. But it all goes back to what I said about, baby, I'm your friend. I'm not your man, and I'm definitely not your fan. So if you were ladies, if you were a guy and he can't do certain basic things for you, not and a guy, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying a guy's supposed to take care of your whole lifestyle, because you still got to live. It's times have changed. We got to work together. It's not meant for me to come in and totally try to take care of everything about your life, keep you fly, work myself to the bone while you fly, and then when I fall over dead, you go on to be with the next guy. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying that you shouldn't have to go borrow $20 from your guy friend when your guy is there. In today's world, you probably smoking up to $20. You probably $20 is what y'all spending on food nowadays. If you getting to the point where you need to borrow $20, one, you need to make a few changes in your life. If $20 make or break you, that's one. Two, you got to stop being afraid to go to these guys that you letting smash and not ask them. And three, you got to start looking at the people that you're using, because that's ultimately what you're doing. You're using these people. You got to stop doing that, because what y'all going to do is take some of the most beautiful people that you got in your life, some of the people that has been down for you and riding with you for a long time. You're going to turn them away. You're going to push them away, and then all of a sudden you're going to use them up till there's nothing left. And then when you really, truly need them in a real situation, they're going to be nowhere to be found, because you used him up on trivial stuff, because you felt that he would always be there. You felt that he would always be in your corner, when right about now he's not in your corner. So stop doing that. And fellas, by the same token, if you got a girl that fit this same particular scenario, that you feel she always gonna be there for you, you gotta stop, because one day they not gonna be there for you. Because even as my mama used to say, even a dog get tired. You know what I mean? Sooner or later, you kick a dog enough, sooner or later he gonna show you his teeth. Sooner or later he gonna make you feel like, hey, look, this is what you've been doing to me. Hey, look, I'd rather just leave. I can find a better master than this, because you doing me wrong. And at some point, that's the way, your friends that you holding on. But that's just my pet peeve. You know what I mean? And I'll leave it at that. You know what I mean? That's my pet peeve. I think we are up against the break. Yep. We're up against the break. So I'm going to leave that right there. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me in the first part of the show. This is Mario, host of the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast is all about thought-provoking talk, baby, right here on Beat Break 87 FM, Atlanta's independent news station where music and talk radio lives. Coming up after the break, we're going to get into some current events. I might do a few Facebook questions. However it may go, either way it go, you're hanging out with your boy. All right, catch you guys after the break. All right, everybody, let's get to work. We're back in. Thank you for joining me. This is the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk right here on Beat Break 87 FM, Atlanta's independent news station where music and talk radio lives. Don't forget, everybody, that you can get the Random Select everywhere that social media is at. We out there in them digital streets. So if you can't find us, then that's a you issue. You might have been a short bus participant and you just didn't know it. But we out there, so don't forget to check us out on therandomselect.com where you can find the latest podcast episodes. I just recently put 2 up. Don't forget, you can go to Beat Break Radio FM, find out what's going on in the community, check out some of the personalities on the show, and you can click that Listen Now button and it'll bring you right to where you need to be, and where you need to be is inside of the Random Select Podcast. Thank you so much for supporting and getting it in. Don't forget the Jeff is Moody show has moved to from 3 to 6 p.m. instead of from 2 to 6 p.m. You can catch the Jeff is Moody show with DJ Natural in the 5 o'clock mix, getting you home out of that traffic, making sure you're jamming all the way. So yeah, tune in for that. And don't forget to support, share people, let everybody know that the Random Select Podcast and Beat Break 87 FM is out there in those streets. So let's get to it. In the first part of the show, we just talked about my pet peeve. And the motto for that part of the show was, I am not your man or your fan, woman. I am your friend. So if you got $20 that you need to borrow, ask the man that's smashing. Don't ask your friend that you're trying to put in the do-boy role. And then you wonder, when it goes bad and you get mad and you wonder why I don't want to be your friend no more. It's because I got tired of being ignorant and foolish for you, and I decided to move on. So just remember, I'm not your man or your fan, I'm your friend. So treat me as such and stop treating me as the fucking do-boy that you thought I was. So that's what we talked about in the first part of the show. In this particular part of the show, we're hanging out with my man, Frost Giant Will. It's been a while since he's been on the show, but he's back, and we going to talk about the state of these Atlanta sports people. So y'all know, lately it's been, for lack of a better word, it's been a turbulent time. So what's going on with you, Will?
Oh, we're talking about Atlanta sports, and it's not much to talk about. I mean, outside of Atlanta sports, things been going good. But since you want to bring that up, I don't know, you can take your pick. You can talk about the Falcons now 1-5 season, or you can talk about the 10-run collapse of the Braves. You can talk about the general state of Georgia Tech, or you can talk about the Bulldogs losing, but since I'm a Georgia Tech fan, I really don't care about that. But I'm willing to talk about it.
Okay, so what I was gonna say before we go any further was that I'm gonna give Tech a bye. Straight up, I can understand, because when you playing with other people's players and other people's subpar players that probably wouldn't be on other people, college rosters, and he had to make the best with what he had. So I'm willing to let that go. So, that's some solace in that. But let's real quick, let's talk about them Braves, and then we're going to move on from that, because that was an epic fail. As I put up on Facebook, this was the first time in my history of me being a Braves fan that I felt fucking ashamed to be a Braves fan, because I know you and Dave said that this is what Atlanta do, and potentially, nobody was surprised. But you had to be surprised that it was this epic colossal fail. You had to be.
Oh yeah. Let me. I wasn't surprised at the result. I wasn't even surprised at the final score. I was surprised at how it happened on that level, but I wasn't surprised at who it happened to, because it happened to our favorite pitchers, Mike Fulton, who just I don't care how you plan out your season. If you plan out your season and your game five comes down to having him on the mound, that's almost a you problem versus anything else. But needless to say, I still didn't think it'd be possible to give up 10 runs in a single inning of playoff baseball.
Well, whether you thought it was possible or not, it happened. So, you know, and the sad part about it all is that, like I said, if you go back one game and you think about how it all played out, we had a chance. We had so many chances to get a fucking run across. One run probably would have did it for us, but we didn't do it. And same thing that plagued us. You know, every time we get to the postseason, we cannot get the big run. We cannot have that inning where we just put people away where they feel dejected and feel like they can't come back. So going into game 5, it didn't give anybody any type of confidence because, as you said and Dave said, the Braves are going to do what the Braves have always done, and that's fold under pressure. But like I said, it was so messed up, man, that the fans left before the Braves came to bat. That upper bowl and middle bowl section has started to be empty. All you saw were blue seats. And that's a damn shame right there.
Well, the thing about that is, and I'm saying, one, that's the Braves' fault. One, for what they developed what they did on the field, of course, is the majority of all of that. But two, I said, you got people who done paid money, who done drove all the way up to Cobb County. You know, the like I said, took off work early. Ditched, called in, did what they had to do to get to the ballpark on time. At that point, I'm at the Battery, and I haven't even been yet personally. But I've heard it's great. So if I'm not going to be able to watch a competitive baseball game that I came to watch, then I might as well go see the rest of the Battery. I might as well make something of the night, because if you came out to watch the Braves, your night was ruined in about 15 minutes.
And that's all I say too. I say that if you one of those type of people, because it was an early game and you took off work and you done gave your boss all this hell of an excuse why you can't go to work, which he probably knew. If you're a baseball fan, he taking his ass off to go to the game, and the game end up like that in the first inning, you already know that I got to find something else to do with my night, because I done jump through all these hoops to lie to my boss, and this is the way this end? Oh, hell no. Boys' night out, something got to happen.
And then just to add insult to injury, I said, you watch the team that put up 10 runs on you in the first inning is about to get swept by the Nationals, because they getting pumped out the playoffs right now.
And that's the hard part of this. I mean, we whooped the Nationals' ass all year long, right? We right coming down the stretch where we had to, it was us and them where we had to go up there and say, okay, the Braves had a chance to catch the Braves. We took 3 out of 4 and just totally made it where we won it, put us in double digit lead for the division, and to watch them do what they doing, it's almost like, I'm already down. Then while I'm down, I look up, you piss in my face. It's disheartening, man. It hurts even after it's over. We done had a couple days to get used to it. Seeing the Nationals do what they have to do just made me say, you know what? I ain't watching another fucking playoff game doing this whole run, because it hurts.
And Mario, I have not. I have not watched a single pitch of playoff baseball since the Cardinals took that 10-run lead. I turned the TV off. I haven't turned baseball back on since. I probably won't. I'll tell you that. I may turn on the World Series, maybe. But then again, if Washington makes it, I probably won't, because I'm just gonna get mad all over again.
Yep.
So no,
yep.
I'm probably done with baseball for the year.
Okay, all right. So we could either move on or we could talk about these Falcons. You choose. Giving you the option. We could keep talking sports, or I got a few other things I would like to get your opinion on. Since it's been a while since you've been on the show, I just want to get your opinion on, real quick. Or we could just totally move on. Let me ask your opinion on this. And I know I asked you this off air, but I want to ask you this on air. I know it's been a couple days old, but honestly, could you have forgiven the girl who killed, Bolton? I just want to know, because everybody, we in a weird spot where we say one thing, but when it comes down to it, we do something else. Everybody go, oh, that couldn't be me, that couldn't be me. That's what the general consensus was. But when it came down to it, they felt for her like she was a freedom fighter or something. I don't get it. So what's your opinion on that? And we talking about Amber Geiger. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh no. I already know where you're going. So let me play this. I said, I'm a Christian. I believe Jesus died for our sins. I believe Jesus gave his life for mine. All of it. I'm not saying I could not forgive her. I'm saying I couldn't do what I saw being done. I can understand forgiving her for your spirit and your soul to be right, because that may be what you need to do to heal your inner being, to heal your soul. You may have to do that. All of the extra hugging and stroking her hair and all that stuff, I can forgive you and not like you. I can forgive your act and just simply say, as a child of God, I wish you the best from here on out, but we don't have anything to do with each other. We don't. I'm not hugging you. I'm not calling you. I'm not going to say I want to be your friend, because that's not going to be true. It's not. So, but I can forgive you for your act and leave it at that, and wish you, good luck and Godspeed from that point on, but we don't ever have to cross paths again. Okay, so all the extra, especially I don't understand. Okay, the brother is in his own space. That's his own grief he has to deal with. So I almost just want to leave him out of it, because he has perspective none of us are ever gonna have. So that he gets my pass. The judge hugging her and the bailiff stroking her hair, I'm so confused. I don't even know where that ranks. That's not even professional. Forget the forgiving part of it. This is not professional at all. So I don't understand. I didn't understand none of that at all from any perspective.
Okay. All right. So let me break it down on a level, I guess, where make it, the people can understand. If this was flipped around, right? And I'm not one of them type of people that love to bring the race card into stuff, because I think sometimes we overdo that, but sometimes it definitely has a place. And I'm not bringing it up now just to be throwing it up as a, one of those conspiracy theory nuts or anything like that. I'm just saying, I'm just comparing, let's just say if we flip this around. If, per se, this would have been a black cop, right, that went up into a white woman's place and said, oh, I shot her by mistake, I thought I was in my place. First of all, he would have never got this much benefit of the doubt. He would have never got the way they treated her when they got on scene, put her in the police car, ushered her off, treated her like she was not the person that pulled the trigger. Treat her like she was the person that had the crime perpetrated against her. That's one thing. If this was all flipped around, do you think if that was a white judge, that judge would have given him a Bible, people would have gave him a hug, and it would have just been all just like this? And I'm not saying from the racial standpoint, I'm just saying from the standpoint if you flipped it around, do you really think this would have been like this? I'm asking you.
No, but I don't understand. And I'll go ahead. You got to bring the racial aspect into it because it's part of the equation. It is. But
It is.
even for the life of me, I don't even see from the race perspective how, again, all the things we're talking about were black people showing the sympathy. And like I said, I'm gonna throw his brother out because he has his own perspective. But the judge and the bailiff, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't care. Short of that being your flesh and blood getting ready to be sentenced, I don't know why there would be anything that unprofessional happening in a court to begin with. And like you said, the racial perspective has to be brought in because you got a case where the black cop, mistakenly shot the white woman, and he's serving life. Granted, she's got a prison term. Everybody has a prison term, but he's serving life. And like you said, there was no outpouring of sympathy. And mind you, he was doing that during the course of his job. She walked into this man's house and shot him when he was sitting in his house. And no matter how you want to spin it, my issue the whole time has always been, you're a trained police officer. I assume when you go through the academy, there's more training than you playing like a Call of Duty game and you just instantly point, click, and shoot at things. That you're trained to evaluate a situation, evaluate a threat, de-escalate a threat. If a threat is present, then you have the option to de-escalate. If you can't de-escalate, evaluate the options you have to neutralize the threat from least lethal to most lethal. This whole situation, you walked in and shot somebody.
Yeah.
You're a trained police officer.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I said, no matter how you want to spin it, I said, you're a trained police officer walking on an unarmed suspect.
Yeah.
There were 1,000 ways that could have went other than you shooting this man dead.
And see, that's my whole thing I've been saying. I've been saying the whole time that for you to be a trained police officer, right? And let's face it, is it me? And I was just talking about this the other day with somebody else, and I was saying that, is it me? Does training not mean anything anymore? You know what I mean? Is it me, or no matter how much thousands of hours they say they train a person, right? Soon as something go wrong, they say what we're going to do is refocus our efforts on training people, right? So what you're trying to tell me is the efforts that you put in training people wasn't worth a damn from the get-go, because it seems like for all the training that y'all claim y'all spend, they saying what, it costs $40,000-$50,000 just to train one officer or something like that. What you're trying to say is the one thing that the officers get out the training is, if in doubt, no matter what happens, shoot. If in doubt, you know what I mean? Because some situations, it just seemed like a split second, not even a long term, a split second of just thinking things through could prevent a lot of stuff from happening. Like with the Philando Castile, you just shot regardless. It's like in your mind, as we say on Madden, you decided you were throwing the A to X no matter what happened, right? You decided that no matter what this man did, you were going to shoot no matter what happened. So does training not matter anymore? Because regardless of, if you trying to tell me that as a police officer, your senses, not even just as a police officer, let's just say as a regular person, your senses are so dead that you walk into another place, don't recognize nothing in the place. No color schemes, no pictures on the wall. The pots and pans, the utensils ain't right. The sofa that a person sitting on ain't right. And you think that's your place. And not only do you think that is your place, I think it's so much my place that I feel I got to defend a place that don't look nothing like mine. Carpet scheme, drape scheme, nothing. So you trying to tell me as a police, your skills of perception are so dead that you couldn't take 5 seconds to realize, oh, this ain't my place. That means you should have never been on the force. That means you should have never passed no type of Wonderlic test or nothing, because your skills of perception are dead, don't exist. And that's the problem I got with that. At some point, you would have took a second to realize ain't nothing in here like what I remember to be in my place. So to get back to the original question, I would have a hard time if I don't care who it is, that was my brother. It's no way. I mean, you can learn. I could learn to get past it because I would have no other choice. But I'm telling you, that whole we had to pick another word because forgive wouldn't be the word I'd use.
I mean, like I said, I can't put myself in his place because I don't know what was going through his mind. So I can't begin. Like I said, my personal perspective is that maybe I could have learned to forgive with some time and distance. But right there, right then in the courtroom, I don't know if I would have had it in me, especially with the fact that as far as I'm concerned, fine, she got 10 years. I was thinking that you were gonna start that clock at 25 and go up, because again, you shot an unarmed person in his house. That was no threat to anyone. This wasn't something that happened during duty. It wasn't anything like that. This man was at home and left the world because he was at home minding his business. So, and no matter how mistaken she was, and I'm gonna take it. I can take her at her word and say it wasn't her intention. I can take her at her word and say that. That don't make him any less not alive. So that right there would have, like I said, I'm not saying it's impossible, but for me, it couldn't have happened inside the courtroom. I don't think I have that in me.
And definitely not, like you said, asking, can I have a hug? Can I have, can I get a hug? And then, like you said, so much professionalism was thrown out the window. There would be anybody else there say, you're not allowed to go near this person. You're not allowed, you know what I mean? Then it turned into almost like I don't know, man. I've just never seen anything like that, to the point where everybody making it feel like she is the victim here. Am I missing something? This man is dead. He is not coming back. And then you hear the jurors talking about, it's no way, black people. There's no way I could have gave that woman 25 years. It just couldn't. She made an honest mistake. Be like, okay, the man asked her in the courtroom, when you shot him one time, where did they teach you to shoot? She was like, the upper body cavity, right? Then she said she shot him one time. Then you said you shot him a second time. Was your intentions to kill? Yes. So at that particular point, if you're police and you see somebody that's in your place, you didn't try to call for backup. You didn't try to immobilize him just to say, okay, let me fire a warning shot or anything. How big of a threat is a man to you sitting on the sofa eating ice cream?
Like I said, that was my issue from jump. Was just how this whole chain of events happened. Just like I said, I don't care how much you say she didn't intend to kill him. That's all well and good, and I hear you, and it's fine. That don't change the result of what she did. So, I mean, according to that rationale, drunk driver shouldn't be charged, because no drunk driver intended to kill somebody on the road.
Nope.
No drunk driver intended to kill somebody on the road. Not one ever. It's just they were drunk. Somebody died as a result of those actions. They had to pay for those crimes, and it's unfortunate, but those are the laws. Those are the laws of the land.
Laws of the land, yes.
So I mean, I understand that. I don't understand all that trying to spin all that spin doctor stuff. Just didn't. I didn't understand it, because as far as I'm concerned, all I heard was Charlie Brown's parents talking all that spin doctor stuff. Okay, that's good. She still got to pay the price.
But ain't it funny though, when you really think about certain things, right? People from afar, when stuff don't happen to you, love to say, oh, that they will forgive and they will do this, right? We won't forgive our neighbor for dogs shitting on our grass, but you'll forgive somebody for this. You understand what I'm saying? You got people who live next door to each other, been living next door to 10, 10 years each other. They don't even speak to each other because one day 8 years ago he let the dog shit on your lawn, and you ain't spoke to him since. But yet and still you can forgive somebody for shooting your brother dead in his apartment. So sometimes I think people just be talking that talk because it ain't happened to them. Because like I said, over time I would have to move on, but I don't know about the forgiveness. And I ain't even trying to say how many years that she should get. They gave her what they gave her. I'm not mad at that, but I hate the fact that you coming out saying what you just couldn't possibly give her. Because if that was anybody else, like I said, it was a black man, it was a jury full of white people, this man would be an old ass man ready for AARP when he get up out of prison. Not just 10 years. When she get up out of prison, she'll still have a viable chance at a life that this man would never have because she took his life. So
I agree. I said I don't disagree with any of that. Not a single word of that.
all right, well, I just really wanted to, get your opinion on that, So, let me ask you something real quick. In the first portion of this show, I talked about, one of my biggest pet peeves, right? I talked about how that lately in the last couple of weeks, I've had, females from the past come back and ask me to borrow money. It was almost like, they lined up to say, hey, look, can I borrow money? But one of the females, was all on Facebook talking about how she got a fiance, how ever since she's met him, she's wanted for nothing. And now, I guess she forgot that we were friends on Facebook. So, and then called and, asked me to borrow money. Didn't even call, but just sent a text through Facebook Messenger. Then I had another person send me a text through, regular text. And I'm saying, y'all got people in y'all life that y'all using up as the dude boy. Not even respectful enough to call me and talk to me personally to ask me to borrow money when y'all got people in y'all life that's supposedly smashing. And I hate when women do that. Refuse to ask the guy that you're sleeping with, let him pull your hair from the back, let him do you any kind of way, but you got the dude boy that you consider the best friend who's been by your side, or that you feel that, oh, I could just treat him any kind of way. You ask him to borrow money. And that's what I talked about in the first half. And what are your opinions on that? The woman got that proverbial good boy, dude boy on the side, but she have no requirements from the man that she with.
Yes. That's my yes, but I don't. And at this point, I'm just going to assume this must be something every man has gone through, because this isn't a singular story. I don't understand this concept, because, like I said, I don't understand this concept because if we are friends. Let me just start from there. If we are friends, and you've asked me for stuff before, and I've given you stuff before, and whatever. At the point when you're in a relationship with a man, let's just scratch the fact that we're friends for the sake of argument. You've got to have enough respect for him to know that you can't ask another dude for something if you're with him. That's probably your personal respect level. Now, besides that, your personal respect level for me is, I'm sorry, no. There's no logical reason why you should be coming to me to ask me this, short of you telling me your fiance, husband, whoever, got into a tragic accident and he can't work or something, and there's got to be a hell of a story attached to this. Because just generally saying, son came up, I need to borrow $1,000.
And even then, you better find his secret boot drawer.
And my first question would be like, my very first question is going to be, did you ask Bob?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't ask Bob. You should ask Bob I think Bob would like to take care of that for you because that's what Bob is there to do.
Yeah, but Bob has his own role. You're my do boy role. Why would I ask Bob when I know I could count on you to do it? Duh.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Because I don't know what part of the game you thought this was.
But the problem with that is
No.
the problem with that is, Will, that they truly honestly believe that they can't see anything wrong with that, Will. That's the problem I have with it. You can't see that, wait a minute, he gets to come through, blow your back out, bust all in your face, and you can't ask him to cut the grass. You can't ask him, you asking me over here to change light bulbs. It's a spider in your attic. Something rumbling in my attic. Can you get it? What could it possibly be? I don't know. Sounds like a question for your man. It's just amazing how they have no requirements. And the thing about this is, I've seen this as a young man, in which I thought that as time get on, women get wiser and it plays out. And it's not true. I'm seeing this as an older man. You cannot put up there how great your relationship is and then say, since I've been with him, I've wanted for nothing. He's been the bestest. Hey, yo, let me get $20. And be like, if that man can't provide $20 for you, baby girl, one, you need to change what you doing that you ain't got $20. And two, you might need to find you another man. But what I realize is I don't even think the man won't do it. I just think that they just don't bring it to him because they put you in that do boy category. They just feel they can get it from you. Why potentially jump through that hoop from the guy who hit me when I can just get it from trusty old reliable do boy McCoy?
I mean, I will say this, and I've had some women argue me down on this, but I do believe it will. I believe this as much as I know the sky's blue. Women have a hard time believing that guys love more than women. The men love more than women. I'm going to tell you it's the truth because any man I've known who has truly loved a woman and has had that relationship end, whether it was his or her fault, is a mess for a long time. Has been a mess that I've seen with my own two eyes for a long time. I've seen women come out of 7, 8 little relationships, I said, and they may boo-hoo and cry and be hurt, be truly hurt. And a month and a half later, I said, they're around with some guy, or 2 or 3 months later, I said, they got a whole roster. And would justify having a roster. Like, well, said, that's the guy I call when I want to go to dinner. This the guy I call when I want somebody, like you said, to blow my back out. Or say, this the dude I call when I just want to talk. I'm like, really? So you straight now? I mean, I'm getting through it. Yeah, I see that. And I said, women are much more capable and much more prone. I said, for all the stuff women say about guys cheating, guys only have, no matter how many women a guy says he has, there's only two classifications of women to a guy. His woman and the women he's screwing. That's it. There's no other classification. There aren't buckets. It's his woman and the woman he's screwing. And at some point, I would like to think most of us get mature enough to understand we just need to be with our woman and leave the woman we're screwing alone and just boil it down to our woman. Well, for any guy, those are two groups of women. We don't have a Rolodex of women to fulfill these different things. But a woman could be juggling 5, 6, 7 men at one time, and they're all out there for different stuff.
Yep. Yep.
And a woman talking to a woman, that's perfectly okay for them. If a guy says he's dating two people, all hell breaks loose. What are you doing? I said, that's not true. But I didn't say I was exclusive to either one of them. I just said I'm dating two people. Because I don't necessarily feel like having a girlfriend or a committed relationship at the moment. So everybody knows I'm single. So you say it to a woman, oh, you playing the field, you not being mature. No, they all know what's going on. But for a woman to do it, it's okay. Don't understand the double standard, but it's out there.
See, but the thing is, a lot of women, when they hear the word dating two people, right? People gotta get back to the understanding of what dating mean. Dating mean that I sometimes hang out with this person, I sometimes hang out with that person. But I didn't say that I was in a relationship with two people. Women hear that I'm dating multiple people, and that automatically means you playing the field. No, it just means that I'm trying to see which one I may potentially want to be with, and it's fine if I decide to not be with either one of them. But see, this is what women do. They take a guy that potentially maybe y'all used to screw, or is a guy that you know for a fact he wants you, or he likes you, but you know deep down inside you don't like him like that. Y'all could be friends, but y'all keep dangling that little whatever out there for him and keep him on the hook, potentially knowing that one day he think you gonna spend some time with him, he think he gonna screw or whatever, but you're never gonna do any of that. All you want him around is just to do the little do boy stuff that you want him to do. So a lot of y'all women don't really want a good man, because the good man is the two-man Taylor type man. You might as well go find the good man on Angie's list to do the do boy shit. You want the bad boy thug to come through and blow your back out. That's the guy you want to give it all to. But the good man you claim that ain't out there, you only want him around for one thing, and that's to do your honey to-do list. You know what I mean? So that's my pet peeve. I got a problem with that. And then women be mad at you when you decide that you no longer want to be a part of that. You pull away from them as a friend and you say, hey, look, you know what? Because I had a conversation with her just the other day, and I said, look, I'm to the point now. I'm 45. Let's talk honest. Let me be honest with you. I told her straight up, hey, look, I can't be your dude boy. I can't give you money. That's what he's there for. That's what he's on your side to do. But I'm just asking you as a friend. I said, you're not asking me as a friend. I've never ever borrowed money from you a day in my life, a day in your life. You've never ever called me to say, hey, how you doing? You only call me when you're going through trouble with him or when you want to borrow some money. So I really have to question that whole thing. Are we friends? I'm only your friend when you need me to be your friend. So she got mad with me and decided to hang up the phone as if that was going to be a big deal for me. By you hanging up the phone, confirms everything I just told you.
Pretty much.
So, all right, before we wrap this up, what are some of your relationship or female pet peeves? And we're not female bashing. We're just saying that women can have pet peeves that they always talk about men. We can have some about women.
It's not even a relationship pet peeve. It's a pet peeve that I have about the subject of cheating. And I will go on record. I don't believe in cheating for any number of reasons. One is it's not fair to the person you with. Two, in the day and age where I don't watch enough Law Order SVU, just walk away. Just if it's not working for you, and it's not working for the two of you, just walk away. Leave. Because I guarantee you, cheating and making somebody find that thing in their head that makes them snap, it's not worth it. So this is the thing. I'm anti-cheating. All I'm gonna say about cheating is this: when you hear about a man cheating, it's always, oh, He don't know what he got at home. He cheating on her. He doing her wrong. He out there, screwing everything that moves. He ain't favorite, this and the other. When a woman talks about a woman cheating, there's always a sob story and emotional backstory attached to it. That, again, like Charlie Brown's parents, I don't want to hear. I don't want. Well, she was being ignored. Her husband was ignoring her, and she just doesn't have the emotional connection she needs to have, in her relationship, and she needed somebody to talk to, and blah 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 blah. Okay, fine. But you're screwing them, right? Well, yeah. Then you're cheating. I don't want to hear about all this other emotional baggage all these emotional flowers you're trying to put around it to make it smell good. You're cheating. You're cheating. You're an adult. You can do what you want to do. It ain't my place to. It ain't my place to tell you what to do. It ain't. I said that's between you, who you cheating with, who you cheating on, and the good Lord above. That's all that needs to be involved in it. I'm just telling you. Don't give me 45 minutes of backstory to explain why you letting some other dude bend you over at Motel 6. It don't matter. You doing it. Just because you're trying to make make yourself feel good about it, trying to make your friend look better. Because my friend wouldn't do that. Your friend's doing it now. Her and Kyle or Tyrone or whoever, they're doing it right now. They're cheating. And again, as consenting adults, they can cheat to their heart's content. Just don't try to color it as something else. They're cheating. If she wants out of the relationship, leave. Just walk out. Go.
Yep, because when we cheat, we dogs, right? When we cheat, we dogs. But when a woman cheat, what did we do to push her to it? What did we do to make her cheat? You know what I mean? You'd be like, some women, and that's been my pet peeve for a long time. A lot of women walk around with the confidence knowing that they're good women. Not all women are good women. And once again, I'm not bashing. I'm just saying, just like y'all say, some women say not all men are all dogs. I'm just saying not every woman is a good woman. Some women cheat because they simply want it to.
And again, that's it. That's my thing. That's like I said. For initial disclosure, I'm happily married. I believe I'm married to a great woman. I believe there are millions upon billions of great women out there. They're out there.
Yes,
but like you said, I can't stand. I said it's like you talk to them like you do know, and I know you a good woman. But you do know there are bad women out there, right?
Yes.
No. Yes, there are bad women out there. Same way there are bad guys out there. I'll tell you in a heartbeat. There are dudes that I would not hook up. My female friends would never get introduced to some dudes that I know, because I just know it ain't right. I wouldn't do it to them.
Yes.
I would like to hope you would have that same level of discernment about the women you know, that if you had a good male friend, you know who. I hope you know who you would hook them up with, and not hook them up with the old hooch that's your buddy, but she's a hooch.
Yes.
That's fine. She can be a hooch.
Or if I know that, like you said, she's a hooch, right? You supposed to tell your buddy going in, look, I'm telling you straight up. Do not fall for this person. Do not catch feeling for this person. This is for a good time, maybe for this weekend, and that's it. You know what I mean? Maybe if that, like you say, if you even introduce them, you go with full disclaimer. Whatever comes from this, on you. Because I've told you straight up what this potentially could be or what this is. So if you allow yourself to take this any further and fall in love or catch feelings for somebody that ain't quite right, hey, look, more luck to you, player, because I done told you. As you like to say, I done tried to told you.
Yep. That's all I'm saying. And I said, but like, I had a pet peeve too. According to women, there ain't been no bad women, ever. There's been a bad woman. Like, no, there are bad women out there. They exist.
Yep. which is evident by how so many women now are got guys to be set up by another guy. If you are a type of woman and you feel that you finna have another guy set up, at your core, you are rotten. You know what I mean? Because no, ain't a good woman in the world. Just like me as a man, if I decide that, hey, look, Will, me, you, Dave, and Danny, I'm gonna invite this girl over, right? I'm gonna start making love to her. Then once I get in it, good, y'all bust out the closet and y'all all do it to her. That is a horrible person.
That's a horrible person. That's a terrible person. That's a terrible person. But like you said, it's like you said, it's to the point. I mean, I said, I am happy that I'm married because I just don't know. I would function somehow as a single man, but I don't know. I give credit to single people right now because I don't because I couldn't go to nobody's house the first time and feel, I don't know, feel safe, feel comfortable, feel like you said, hosts getting set up now.
Yep.
We got people getting stuff dropped in their drinks.
Yep. I mean, literally, our first date, or if we truly hanging out, if it's something like that, we might would be talking about what type of ink they use when they giving people fingerprints as we having our lunch in the police, I don't know, lunchroom or something. Because, like you said, man, people are, with the Darren Sharpers and all these people, they doing crazy stuff, man. And like you said, women are setting guys up to be rubbed, and think you all in love. Lil Wayne got a whole song about it. All of a sudden, y'all cool. She'll go the whole nine, let you screw and everything. But as you with it, she hitting something on her phone saying now's the perfect time to come through because he butt ass nigga, he can't do nothing about it. You know what I mean? And as a man, if something like that ever happened to you, I don't care how big and tough you are mentally, you will be fucked up for a long time because you couldn't trust a damn soul from that point.
Nope. And the accompanying part of that is that I'm not saying I would endorse this behavior, but I would understand if he ever saw this woman again the rest of his life, I don't know what reaction he would have, but whatever reaction that would happen, all I can say is, oh man, that's tough, but I understand. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Like, man, I wish you hadn't did all that, but I understand. Cause that's no. That's just. But see, that's one of the things I say, and this is something. This is, I would say, another pet peeve with the female friends I have is that now with the way today's dating and everything works. If somebody is concerned enough to say, call me when you get home, or call me when you get, call me when you get to your next destination, wherever that may be. You ain't got to say you're going home. Because if you're going to another dude's house and you leave here, just call me and say you got there safely, wherever there is. Yeah. I don't care what there is. That's your business. But I said, so you got to say, if you got friends who are like, hey, look, say, you want to meet with so and so you met off Tinder, right? Yeah. Why don't you choose the address where y'all meeting up so we know where y'all going or something, or or have one of us, just kind of go and just kind of be in the area so we can just make sure everything's okay. You're like, nah, I ain't got to do all that. You ain't got to do all that. I'm grown. We know you're grown. There's grown victims. We're trying to keep you safe. That's all we try to say. Do you? I say, ain't nobody trying to give you business, but I say, nobody can. You creep and creep. We just want to make sure you're alive to creep again. That's all we're trying to do.
And not only that, crazy people prey on the fact that you isolating, you that, alone and nobody never, be like, where's the last time? Well, I called her, I told her, let me do this and let me do that. She decided not to. And the way, and I know this transition into something totally different. But the way people are being missing in Atlanta when they talking about the sex trade and shipping them off into the containers into Dubai. I know we joke about this all the time, but let's be honest, it's really seriously, truly happening. So nowadays you can't take a chance. I mean, I know you still want to have some spontaneity, some fun and all of that, but common sense and safety have to overrule spontaneity and fun now, because people are getting the hell up out of here missing and found dead, and people taking organs and all type of fucked up shit going on these days. So you got to be careful these days, and I don't care how fine, sexy, cool a person is, you don't know them like that. You know, I mean, like Ludacris told me, I don't know you like that. You know what I mean? So you really truly have to be, and it used to be a time where as a man, you never even remotely thought that a woman may set you up, or a woman may be living foul like that. It never even crossed our minds to think that she might be like that. And soon as you think like that these days, all you hear is that little thing on your shoulder going, gotcha. And you know, and like I said, my daughter Jasmine, you know, her sister is serving time for setting somebody up. You know what I mean? The boy ain't ended up getting killed. You know, so, and then they say the boy only had $60 with 3 of y'all. So y'all murdered somebody for, in essence, $20 a piece. That's what your life came down to $20. So a lot of times when y'all set people up, you're not setting up Trump or Bill Gates. You're setting up regular, ordinary people who, at the best, you're not walking away with 30, 40, 50, $100,000 when you do this. It's chop change in relative terms. At least you're not walking enough where somebody can go, well, I see why you did it. You know what I mean? You're not walking away with that type of money.
No, and then just in the grand scheme of just, most of the time people are criminals because they aren't very smart. So most criminals aren't very smart that you commit this crime, even if you're going into this with, I don't even want to say the best of intentions, but let's just say what it is. That you're going into it and you didn't necessarily think you were going to have to kill anybody.
Yeah.
By the nature of your crime, you can't just rob him because he knows who you are. So there's only one way this crime can really end. So at that point, I said, once you make your mind up, you go set somebody up. He said, yes, you have effectively killed them because there's no other way that crime can end successfully for you. Because if he can identify anybody else, he can identify the person that he met on Tinder.
And once again, I've said this and I'll say this to God, make me take my last breath. And I tell this to my daughter all the time, all 4 of my daughters, I say this. If someone asks you to do something that messed up, that heinous, and they tell you they doing it all under the moniker of I love you, right then and there you should deduce that that's a lie, because anybody who truly love you would not ask you to put yourself in a predicament that 1, they may end somebody's life, or 2, that guy might get the drop on y'all and end y'all life, or 3, y'all may end up like she end up, everybody in fucking prison. That ain't love. I don't care what nobody tell you. That is not love. You would not go to your wife right now and say, hey, look, I got this big money scheme. All you got to do is just lure him. Once you use the word lure, your wife would say, I'm out. You know what I mean? You should never, and nothing you doing something with somebody should ever have the word lure or trick.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Them to a spot. Ain't nothing good come from that once that happened. And you would never put that in your whole mission as a man. You may do whatever you got to do out there in them streets, right? But your job is to try not to let whatever that fuck shit you doing come back to your home life. You know what I mean? That's if you kind of sort of care about, you know, your family and whatnot. Because there's plenty of men running around here cheat every day that we have no clue about, the women have no clue about, but they work hard to keep that bullshit from hitting their doorsteps. You know what I mean? And you do that because you care about the person. I mean, I know it's an oxymoron to say you care, but you're cheating too, but you understand what I'm saying. You care enough to not want her to be hurt in that way. You know what I mean? So if ladies, if you hear me, no man should ever ask you to do something that compromises who you are as a person and potentially make you lose your life or your freedom. They don't love you, straight up. So I don't care whatever feeling you feel for them, they would not ask you to do that. Only a ghetto thugged out person who just don't see no possible way out or no future would ask you to do some stupid shit like that.
And don't let us limit this to just the women, because I said there's been plenty of true crime stories where where somebody been dating someone, be like, well, you know, if we could be together if I didn't have this pesky husband running around.
Yes.
Oh, hold my bill.
Oh,
No, don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do that.
And I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Oh no.
Oh, that's true. You matter of fact, you right. That go both ways, you know, because it's been more than a few stories where, you know, well, just take care of my husband, you know, we could be together forever. Then all of a sudden she mess around and feed you antifreeze. She done got both insurance monies. You done killed her husband for her, and the whole time while you were plotting to kill her husband, she been getting your ass antifreeze cornflakes. All right, we gonna leave it right there. We gonna wrap it up right there. But let me just say, I want to thank the Frost Giant as always for hanging out with me inside of the Random Select podcast. We definitely don't do this enough. So, any parting shots, anything you want to say before we get up out of here, Will?
Just one in general. If I have to say two, I said. We will probably have to eventually do a Trump podcast at some point, just because at this point, let's say nothing I hear. I've officially reached the point where nothing I hear with his name in it is a surprise. So all of it has to be true. And what's going on in the news now, I said it would just probably have to be his own little 30, 45-minute segment, because at this point we are. And it's funny, we talked about this off air. You told me I disrespected him, and the more I thought about it, more you were correct. I said the country is being run by Cobra Commander. I owe Cobra Commander an immense apology. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Cobra Commander. Cobra Commander could run a whole army by himself. so that's my fault for discrediting Cobra Commander's leadership skills.
All right, I got you. Well, yeah, it happens, you know. What you gonna do? You know what I mean? So, all right. With that being said, guys, I want to thank you for hanging out with me inside of the Random Select podcast. Definitely, the podcast is going to continue after the break. So don't forget to definitely go to beatbreakradiofm.com. Don't forget to go to therandomselect.com. And all those wonderful places so you can find out what's going on with the podcast, find out what's going on in the community, find out what's going on with some of the personalities on the show. And with that being said, the Random Select will come back after the break. And coming back after the break, I might talk about some current news events, talk about some of the questions that have been asked of me, or just people send me different memes saying, hey, look at this and look at that. We might get into that after the break. All right, chilling with your man. Catch you after the break. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back into the Random Select podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk right here on Beat Break 87 FM, Atlanta's independent news station where music and talk radio lives. I am your man, Mari. Yo, you could be anywhere else, but I appreciate you hanging out with me, whether you're getting it in the gym, you're starting that second shift, or you're just lounging out at the crib. I appreciate it. Don't forget, people, that we are out there in those digital streets. We're everywhere that podcast and all that good, wonderful, beautiful stuff is at. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, the Gram, as y'all kids like to call it, the Gram. We on all those wonderful places. YouTube, all those places. We out there in them digital streets. So if you can't find us, then that's on you, baby bubble. You know what I mean? That's on you. And don't forget, guys, you can also go to beatbreak87fm.com, where you can find the latest podcast episodes. You can click that listen live button. bring you to right into where you need to be, and where you need to be is right here inside the Random Select podcast. Don't forget, you can also check out therandomselect.com, and I just recently uploaded some new podcast, and you'll be good. You know what I mean? Click that live button or click on that podcast button. It'll bring you right into where you need to be, and where you need to be, baby, is right here on Beat Break 87 FM. You know. All right. In the first part of the show, people, just to get you caught up real quick to make sure you understand what's going on inside this thing, I talked about my pet peeves, people. My pet peeves, and one of my biggest pet peeves as a man dealing with a woman is that you constantly trying to use me and make me your do boy, make me your, partner in crime when we don't have anything going on, but you constantly trying to dangle that carrot in front of my face because you feel that I might want to hit, you feel I might want to spend some time. So you got me doing all this, Angelus stuff when you got another dude that's smashing, and all he do is come through and smash, but all I gotta do is come through, take out the trash. You know what I mean? You giving him trim, and you asking me to trim the grass. Just ain't fair, baby. And then you want to get mad when I decide I don't want to be used no more. Go figure. You get mad because I won't let you use me. But that's what we talk about in the first part of the show. Second part of the show, we hung out with my man with my man Frost Giant Will. Always cool hanging out with one of the original amigos, cause it's me, Mario the Lion. They call me Johnny Firewalker for obvious reasons, people. Firewalker, Decatur Made Dave, Frost Giant Will, and Jack O'Dan, baby. That's Lieutenant Dan, my best boy, D-Jack. But I hung out with the Frost Giant, and as always, it's cool hanging out. We just talked about, I asked him about his pet peeve. We talked about Atlanta sports and things of that nature. And, he just talked about why women always has an excuse for cheating, but never want to actually say that they just cheated. They had a reason for doing it. The man pushed me to it. But did you sleep with him? Yeah, I slept with him. But so you cheated then. You are a cheater too, So that's what we pretty much talked about. That segment ran a lot long. I was going to say a little long, but that segment ran a lot long. And now that brings me to my closing number. The final curtain call, the last part of the show, man. I want to talk about, I saw a PSA. I was rolling around on Instagram, out there in them digital streets that I just told you guys about. Stay with me now. And I ran across a PSA that I've never seen. It was about back to school, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it. But I, for whatever reason, wasn't privy to it, didn't see it. And I'm telling you, man, as a parent, it hurt my heart, man. It gave you real concerns. It gave you real, true fears, and just to see it put in just that format. Now, it was put on by the people who from Sandy Hook, the Sandy Hook Project people. I guess it's supporters and family members and parents of the kids that got killed up in Sandy Hook Elementary. Which a lot of you crazy ass conspiracy theory nuts, which my son is one of those people, believe that it was all staged and they believed it was fake. And I try to tell my son that that's the one thing we know about this world, and if you've lived long enough, you can understand. Even if you get to about 15, 16, up to 20, you start to understand. In order for something, a big secret, to be kept, it has to be at minimum one person in the loop. Once you start trying to say you got to pay off a whole school full of people to say, oh, this was staged, a whole town full of people, a whole first responder staff, a whole police force, it's too many people. At some point, somebody's conscience is going to be killing them. They ain't going to be able to sleep at night, and they're going to have to come forward and say this was all a ruse, this was all an act, so this was staged. It's just too many people to pay off to say that it was staged. So I told my son, if that ever happened to you, how would you feel if somebody was walking around saying that, if me and you buried one of your sisters or your brother, how would you feel if people were walking around saying that it was staged when it wasn't? It'll do something to you, because you know that pain and that hurt and that suffering you felt was real. It was not fucking staged. And I tell him, don't say that in my presence. You want to be that ignorant? You go up there, you be that ignorant in your room. But as a parent, I just refuse to allow myself to think that the Sandy Hook shootings were staged. I just can't do it. It's just one of those type of things where you feel like it's just too many people would have to be bought off. Too many people would have to be doing like synchronized swimming. Too many people would have to be going in the same direction at the same time. And we know that in today's world of watch me and I want to be the star, and his light shining brighter than my light, so therefore I must do what I can to dim his light instead of be happy for him. It'll never happen in today's world, because we have turned into too much of what about me selfish society, and can't stand the fact that somebody else might be getting a little bit more run, a little bit more shine, a little bit more time than me. That's the type of world we live in. But I saw this PSA, and I'm telling you guys, as a guy who has spent the majority of his life admittedly emotionally unavailable, this did something to me. And just to see how they put it all together, and I've watched this thing like, I don't know, maybe 15 times, and at its core, it's really messed up. If you're a parent, you just hope to God that this never happens. It's really messed up. So check out this PSA. And with that being said, I just want to let y'all know that the concerns that these people who put this PSA got, it's real. It's a real thing that's going on in this world. And ultimately, we got to deal with this. You know what I mean? So check this PSA out, and I'll get back to you after it's done.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class. These colored pencils, too. These new socks? They can be a real lifesaver.
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
And as you see, it's one of those type of things where you just, it's real. You know what I mean? The concerns are real. Everything that we thought that the worst fears as a parent is real. You know, you would hate to think that everything that they made seem so cavalier, just the most basic thing that you've been buying for your kids for back to school for years would be used in a certain way. You know, those socks that the girl had, it could be those socks are a real lifesaver, using it as tourniquets. The guy, the skateboard, using it to bust out the window. The shoes that the mom or the parents bought for the boy, use it to help him run. And the most disturbing part of all of that is the girl finally got the phone to stay in contact with her mom, and just to hear that person coming in to potentially shoot her. If that don't fucking pull at your heartstrings as a parent, then you might need to be re-examined. You might need to check your pulse, because as a parent, that's a hard pill to swallow. I'm just being completely honest. That's a hard pill to swallow right there. It's hard, you know what I mean? Cause it's devastating to think that your And you guys can tell that this is emotional, because like I told my daughter just this morning, I couldn't, and I let my kids watch the video right before they went out to school, and I told them, and my son was like, well, you know, it really didn't happen. All this stuff is, you know, conspiracy theory. They were paid actors and things like that. And I said to him, what if they weren't paid actors? What if, you know, this really happened? What if that was you and y'all on your way out the door? Y'all on your way out the door to school right now. What if this really happened? You know what I mean? I told him the concerns are real. I told him that in my lifetime, because of the environment I grew up in, because of the way I grew up, I've been around shootouts. I've been around gunfights. I've been around where people just started shooting for no particular reason. So to a certain degree, I don't want to say it don't bother me, but I understand how to handle myself in those particular situations. And I tried to tell them, if anything ever happened, you stay low and you try to figure out which way the gunshots are coming, which direction, and you try to go the opposite direction. Just don't start running all willy-nilly, because sometimes you just start running the way the crowd is running, and then you end up running yourself into a situation that you can't come back from. And the very last thing I would want to do is to be able to say that I sent my kids out the door for school that morning, and they didn't come back because some asshole, some mentally disturbed, mentally deprived person, or some person that felt like they want to reenact out a vendetta or take out something against the school, or some bully decide that today's the day that I want to make everybody pay. Even people that doesn't have a damn thing to do with my disgust, a damn thing to do with my frustrations, a damn thing to do with my bullying. But since I feel this particular way and I can't do anything else about it, I want to make them all pay. I want to make them all fucking pay. And I couldn't live with that, knowing that I just saw my kids this morning. And now I got to make funeral arrangements for my kids because they went to school. We as a country, we as a people, we as parents, we have to really do something about these guns. And to let you know just how fucked up we are as a society. Yes, and I'm telling you, we are fucked up as a society. Just to let you know how fucked up as a society. Put this in perspective. Look how many people have died with mass shootings and school shootings over the past, let's just say, year, right? Let's not even go back to Columbine, Sandy Hook, and all of that. Let's just think about the nightclub shootings in Vegas, the video game tournament Madden, the nightclub shooting in Orlando. Then there was the shooting in Vegas, and then there was down at Stroman High. Let's just think about it. Then there was the guy who drove to Texas. Then there was the shooting in I think it was Ohio somewhere, Akron or wherever that was, where the guy opened up fire in the town square. Let's just deal with those I don't mean to demean it in any way. Let's just deal with those incidents right there. A whole lot of people died, right? But now we in America, where we need people to blame, or we want to do a damn good job of getting people looking the other way, that I don't know, 9, 10, 11 people die from vaping, and everybody want to act on this. All the states want to act on this rapidly, want to jump on this, saying that effective immediately we are banning the sales of vapor products in our state. How come you can't take the same immediate action on guns? Effective immediately, we are banning the sales of guns in our state because there are too many people dying. You can ban vaping products because you feel that there are too many people dying, but we can't do a damn thing about guns not because we feel that too many people are dying. We know for a fucking fact that too many people are dying, but we refuse to do anything about it because we have let lobbyists in the NRA become so powerful, get so entrenched into Washington, get so entrenched into our politicians, so entrenched into our society that they like the roots of a tree. you could cut the top part of it down and you think you're really solving something. But if you do not grind the stump down, dig up the ground and get the roots, you ain't solving a damn thing. We have let too many lobbyists and NRA people become so ingrained into the fabric of our government that we can't do anything about it. But because 9 or 10 people, 11 people, 20 people die from vaping that they chose to use, and that you never know what it is. And I'm not diminishing the people who die from vaping, because I don't want nobody to die from anything. But I just want the same quick, swift reaction to vaping to come when it comes to these guns. I want the same swift reaction to guns. But that goes to show you just how fucked up we are as a society, that we consider vaping more dangerous than automatic weapons. We consider vaping more urgent than taking care of automatic weapons and guns. We consider vaping to be of the highest priority. Politicians and everybody choosing to take this up as a measure to make people feel like they're doing something for you, when you should be taking up guns to let people know that you're doing something about them. Vaping is one of those things that people can easily choose not to do. And I'm not saying that it would be an easy choice, but way less people have died from vaping than from mass shootings and gun violence. It's amazing how swift, and we jump right in. All of a sudden it's Batman protecting Gotham when it comes to the vaping. But when it comes to these guns and our most precious commodity, which is our kids, who supposedly are the future, we're pretty much telling all parents in America and all the other countries around the world that our future we don't give a damn about. All we care about is making a buck right here, right now, because let the future, which is our kids, keep getting killed. Because the people who are not getting killed are the people benefiting from it by the lobbyists and making money off the gun. One of the original argument was that a lot of gun shops would be put out of business and the economy would, suffer if gun shops go out of business. But y'all don't give a damn about putting the vaping places out of business. Everywhere you go now, there's a vaping shop, 2 or 3 vaping shops in each portion of the city. Not just the entire city. I'm talking about just a portion of the city all together in Atlanta. And it could be, at least 50, 67, if not 100 vaping spots. Right here in Murfreesboro, just right on Church Street alone, there are at least 3 or 4 vaping places. You don't give a damn about putting them out of business, but you care about putting gun shops and gun shows out of business. It's not the fact that you care about putting them out of business. You care about, and I'm talking to you politicians, you care about not getting the money from the lobbyists to keep on voting for certain things. How about you actually be a politician and you stop being a puppet? How about for once you stop enjoying the fact that somebody have their hand up your ass controlling you? How about you decide to want to dislodge their hands out your ass and see what it feels like to walk around on your own accord, make your own decisions and do the right thing and get rid of these guns? How about you do that? Y'all don't understand. The concerns are real. The concerns are ever present. So you gotta know that the potential for the next school shooting is out there. Some kid is in his room right now. Even if he don't really have a real beef or a real gripe, he's probably going to be a copycat person. Probably feel like this is the only way that he can get through. This is the only way that he can make people understand what he going through. But the problem with all that is where he's getting the gun from. Parents, we got to take some accountability for this as well. You got to start checking in your kids' rooms. You got to start, you pay the bills, you pay the rent, so you can do what the fuck you want to do inside of that house. So don't say that you're trying to be your kid's friend. You need to be a parent first and foremost. I don't want to hear another parent talking about that's invading their privacy. Fuck their privacy. Would you rather for your son to have the penal system invading his privacy when they're doing cell checks, when they lock your goddamn son or daughter up? Would you rather for they privacy to be invaded that way? Or would you rather just take 5 or 6 minutes when they're at school to check their damn rooms? So it starts with us. The government can do what they can. Yes, the government can do a whole lot more. The government can do infinitely more. But it starts right here with us. It starts with us parents. Because that PSA was, quite frankly, life-changing. That PSA, quite frankly, truly drove home the fact that these concerns are real. And I know we have done a great job to provide a bubble for our kids. I know we have. You know, most kids' life is great. Most kids don't even understand the real concern of it. To them, it's just something that they see on the news until it happens to them. To them, my son tried to make a complete mockery out of this. But the one thing I will not stand for, and I will not fucking have, is him make a mockery out of the fact that some parent had to go through this type of tragedy to bury their 5-year-old son, 6-year-old son, 7-year-old son, to bury multiple kids. You had a thriving family at the beginning of the day, and by the end of the day, you and your wife are empty nesters. That just shouldn't be in this country. That shouldn't just stand in this country. We need to take a stand. And if we can't make them do what needs to be done, then we need to take a stand together and get their ass out of office. If we can't make them do it, we need to find somebody who we can put our kids first. And once again, as I say, people, the concerns are real. You know, we need to stop thinking about how life used to be and deal with how life really is right now, because this is just crazy. So I don't know what to say, man. All I know is that this shook me. This rocked me to my core, because I just wasn't expecting to see this today. I just wasn't expecting for this to hit a certain part of me that I just don't know. I wasn't expecting for it to wake me up in this particular way, which brings me back to the point to say that, think about just what I said, people. We as a country care more about vaping, the 19 or 20 deaths that happened for vaping. We care about that more than the hundreds of people that have died due to gun violence and mass shootings. When you think about that and you put that in perspective, it truly lets you know just how much the people that we voted in office care about us. Or it truly lets you know how much they really don't care about us. So we got to stop waiting for people to care about us. We got to stop waiting for people to care about our kids. And we got to start caring for our kids ourselves. We got to start getting out to these polls. We got to start voting. We got to start forming groups and coalitions and organizations, and to let people know that we will no longer stand for this. And I want to make sure that this is more than just words. I want to make sure I put some action behind it. So I'm going to do everything I can to find out how can I help spearhead some things to get this movement going. Because people, it's long overdue for the change. We just got to get enough people who believe in the change so strong and so vigorously, believe in it strong enough as if you need this change just as much as you need to breathe. We need to get people believing in it like that. So just understand that the struggle is real, people. Alright, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me inside of the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk. And that'll do it for the show, people. I want to thank you for joining me. Until the next time, people, the Random Select is out.
Thanks for listening to Random Select Podcast. Bye. Now, Dad, can we go get some ice cream?